My name is Meron Endale. I'm going to present you my main thesis from Erasmus University Rotterdam in the Netherlands. The title of my thesis is the impact of ISPM 15 on trade performance of 5 African countries: Botswana, Cameroon, Ethiopia, Kenya, and Mozambique. To introduce what ISPM 15 is, it's an international standard for the treatment of food packaging material. The standard has been ratified in 2002. So far, there are 70 countries that have adopted the standard. Cameroon, Ethiopia, and Kenya has adopted the standard in 2006, followed by Botswana and Mozambique in 2009. The scope of the study is from 1992 to 2014, based on the data collected from UNITAP. The reason why there is limitation in the data is because of the availability of the data source. The significance of the study is this is a pioneer study in using socioeconomic determinant variable to assess the effect of the standard in bilateral trade flow. The statement of the problem: the annual environmental damage caused due to the establishment of pastes are costing countries a lot. For instance, in USA, it's estimated to be 120 billion according to the studies that has been conducted in 2005. So according to the other study that has been done in New Zealand, it's estimated to reach to 20 billion in the coming 4 decades in New Zealand specifically. The objective of the study: the paper intends to assess to what extent does ISPM 15 significantly impact bilateral trade flow, and also which product groups does the standard affect most. So for this study purpose, we select the most primary agricultural exporting products of each country. For instance, for Ethiopia and Kenya, they are very well known for their export of coffee and tea. So I'll move on to the economic specification. The economic specification will take into account the GDP of the country, the year that the ISPM 15 has been adopted, the government effectiveness, the political stability, distance between the trading partners, colonial language, and colonial history. So to explain the results and the findings, the standard is very sensitive to products that are exported to EU countries. EU countries are more strict in implementing the standard. So when we are comparing results for the products that has been exported to EU countries and also other trading partners, for EU countries, the impact is negative, which means it possibly could decrease agricultural products exported to EU countries, whereas for other trading partners, it's less sensitive. It's either positive or insignificant. In conclusion, the study has implication that these countries have diverted their export to other market destinations which have less standard requirements or weak control. Thus, the share of trade among neighboring African countries has accelerated over the years. The second one is the study suggests that the trade distortion effect of ISPM 15 is not limited only to the export of agricultural products to EU, but also it affects the import of food products to the selected countries. The third one is products which has high competition. For instance, meats and coffee products are highly sensitive for the standard, whereas products that rarely has been produced or grown in countries, for instance cacao, they are less sensitive. Lastly, the 5 African countries have limitation to sufficiently access scientific and technical expertise in implementing the standard. So the policy implication of the paper is WTO and PPO, FAO, and other international standard setting organizations need to consider developing countries whether they are able to effectively adopt the standard or not. And the recommendation for the further studies is the paper further proposed the direction for future researchers to take into account consideration of additional explanatory variables such as the size of the forest land, foreign direct investment, economic diplomacy, and the extent of pest incidents in the trade level. Thank you.